You unlock the door. Your keys hit the counter. Your phone lights up before you even take your shoes off. And your cat is right there. Not dramatic, not loud, just watching. I didn't notice this at first. Most of us don't, but those first few seconds after you walk into your home, they matter more than we think. What if the first 3 seconds after you step inside quietly shape how safe your cat feels in your space? Cats often look effortlessly independent, calm, self-contained, like nothing really gets to them. But beneath that still exterior is a nervous system that registers patterns, tone shifts, footsteps, routines. Your cat doesn't measure love in grand gestures. They measure it in micro moments. And some of the most common things we do every single day, not out of cruelty, not out of neglect, but out of habit, can slowly chip away at how emotionally secure your cat feels in your home. Today, we're not talking about obvious mistakes. We're talking about the quiet ones, the normal ones, the things that seem too small to matter. Because in your cat's world, small things repeated daily become the emotional climate of your home. If you're watching this, you're probably not the kind of person who doesn't care. You're the kind of person who worries. You notice the little things. You wonder if you're getting it right. You've Googled something at 1 a.m. that started with, "Is it normal if my cat?" And that's why I want to say this clearly. Before we go any deeper, you didn't do it wrong. You just didn't know what it meant. Most cat parents love their cats in the most human way possible. We buy better food, we upgrade the bed, we keep the litter box clean. We talk to them like they're a tiny roommate who never pays rent. And in our minds, that's love. But cats don't experience love the way humans perform it. Your cat isn't looking for big gestures. They're looking for emotional consistency. They're looking for a home that feels predictable. A human that feels safe, a rhythm that doesn't suddenly flip. Because here's the part that's hard to accept: a cat can be fine and still be quietly stressed, not panicking, not acting out, just living in a low-level state of tension that slowly changes their behavior over time. They might sleep a little lighter. They might hide a little more. They might stop playing the way they used to. They might get clingy, or they might get distant. And you might not connect it to anything, because nothing bad happened. That's what makes this so sneaky. Cats are masters of silent coping. So when your cat flinches at a sudden noise, or avoids the litter box after a new scented cleaner, or gets irritated when you pet a certain spot, it isn't them being dramatic. It's them trying to protect their nervous system in the only way they know how. And the good news is, you don't need to become a perfect cat parent. You just need to learn what your cat has been trying to say with their body, their routines, and their quiet little choices. Because once you see it, you can fix it gently, without guilt, without fear, without turning your home into a cat rules-only dictatorship. At some point, I realized something that changed the way I see every cat behavior. Your cat isn't reacting to your actions. They're reacting to how predictable and safe those actions feel. That's the shift. Because biologically, your cat is still wired like a small, solitary predator, not a roommate. Not a fur child, a territorial hunter with a hyper-tuned nervous system. In the wild, survival depends on 3 things: control of territory, completion of the hunt, environmental stability. Now look at your apartment. Your cat didn't choose the square footage. They didn't choose the cleaning products. They didn't choose when guests arrive, when music plays, or when furniture moves. And yet, their nervous system has to adapt to all of it. Here's the part most people miss. Emotional safety for a cat isn't about affection. It's about control and consistency. When you walk past your cat without acknowledging them, it's not that they feel insulted. It's that a predictable ritual was broken. When you use a laser pointer and never let them catch anything, it's not just play. It's an incomplete dopamine cycle, a hunt without closure. Predatory brains are wired for sequence: stalk, chase, catch, bite, finish, remove the catch. and the nervous system stays slightly activated. That low-level activation repeated daily, it becomes background stress. When you touch their belly or tail base without reading their signals, it's not rejection when they swat. Those areas are neurologically vulnerable zones. In evolutionary terms, exposing the belly means trust. Touching it without invitation triggers reflex defense, not dislike. When you disturb their hiding spot, pick them up from a high perch, or follow them into their retreat space, it's not about them being antisocial. It's about territory breach. High spaces and enclosed areas regulate cortisol. They help your cat downshift from alert mode into rest. Take that away repeatedly, and your cat may not explode. They just become slightly more vigilant and loud environments. Cats hear frequencies far beyond what you do. A slammed cabinet to you is a shockwave to them. Chronic unpredictable noise keeps the feline nervous system in hyperarousal. You might see overgrooming, light sleeping, sudden irritability, more hiding, not because your cat is dramatic, but because their nervous system is tired, and scent. Your cat's world is built on scent mapping. When you flood your home with strong artificial fragrance, you don't just change the smell. You erase their emotional landmarks. Pheromones stabilize territory. Masking them destabilizes the emotional map. So here's the aha moment. Your cat doesn't wake up thinking, "My human hurt my feelings." They experience small disruptions in predictability, territory, completion, or sensory stability, and when those disruptions repeat, their body adjusts, not loudly, but gradually. Once you see it this way, your cat's behavior stops feeling random. It becomes logical, it becomes readable, and most importantly, it becomes changeable. Now that you see the pattern, the good news is this: you don't need to change your whole life. You just need to adjust a few small rituals inside your home. Not dramatically, not perfectly, just intentionally. Let's start with the moment you walk through the door. Instead of stepping over your cat while answering a text, try this. Pause, crouch down. Say their name softly. Offer one slow blink. Touch gently if they lean in. 5 seconds, that's it. Those 5 seconds tell your cat, "You're part of my world." Watch their tail. If it lifts upright with a slight curve at the tip, that's emotional security. If they slow blink back or brush against your legs, your nervous system's just sensed. Next, complete the hunt. If you use a laser pointer, and there's nothing wrong with that, just make sure the session ends with something tangible. Guide the red dot onto a kicker toy. Let your cat pounce, grab, bite, shake. Then offer a small treat. Stalk, chase, catch, eat, rest. That sequence matters. You'll notice after a completed play session, your cat settles more easily. Less frantic energy, more satisfied grooming. Deeper sleep. In an apartment, even a 7-minute structured play cycle can reset their mood for hours. Now let's talk about touch. Instead of assuming your cat wants affection, offer your hand first. Hold it still, let them approach, let them initiate contact. If their ears stay neutral and their tail remains soft, continue with safe zones, cheeks, chin, base of ears. If the tail starts flicking sharply or the ears rotate sideways, pause. Consent isn't a human concept, it's a nervous system concept. When your cat feels in control of physical contact, trust deepens. Then there's space. Every apartment needs one elevated, undisturbed zone. A cat tree by the window, a shelf above eye level. Even the top of a wardrobe with a soft blanket. High spaces regulate stress. If your cat chooses that perch, resist the urge to pick them up. Let it be their reset button. You'll notice something subtle. Instead of hiding under the bed when stressed, they'll observe from above. Observation is confidence. Hiding is overwhelm. Sound and scent are quieter adjustments. Choose unscented litter. Use fragrance-free cleaning products when possible. Keep at least one room in your home consistently calm. If you've had a loud day, lower your tone before interacting. Cats read vocal intensity like weather patterns. When your voice softens, their body softens and finally respond when they talk. When your cat meows, chirps, slow blinks, or brings you a toy, don't ignore it. You don't need a long conversation, a soft "I see you," a glance, a gentle touch. Those micro-acknowledgements build attachment. You don't have to be perfect, you just have to be predictable. And when your cat starts sleeping with their belly partially exposed, when they stretch fully instead of curling tight, when they blink slowly without tension, you'll know your home feels safe to them. Here's what I've learned over the years. Most of the things that shape your cat's emotional world aren't dramatic. They're small, almost invisible, easy to overlook. But small things repeated every single day. They become the emotional climate of your home. Your cat doesn't need perfection. They don't need you to whisper all day, or turn your apartment into a silent sanctuary, or structure every minute around them. They just need consistency, predictability, moments where their nervous system can relax instead of brace. And maybe the most important shift is this: you're not trying to control your cat's behavior. You're creating conditions where their body doesn't feel the need to defend itself. When you greet them, you repair tiny attachment moments. When you let them complete the hunt, you satisfy ancient wiring. When you respect their space, you honor territory. When you lower your voice, soften scent, and respond to their signals, you tell their nervous system, "This is safe. You're safe." That's what builds trust, not domination, not training tricks, not forcing affection, trust. And if you've watched this far, it tells me something about you. You care about getting this right. So I'm curious, which one surprised you the most? Was it the laser pointer, the scent, the greeting at the door? Let me know in the comments. I genuinely read them, and your experiences help other people see their own cats more clearly. And if this helped you understand your cat in a new way, stay with me. There's a full video linked on the screen about how to correct bad behaviors, scratching furniture, avoiding the litter box, without yelling, punishment, or breaking trust. Because your relationship with your cat isn't built in big moments. It's built in quiet ones, and those quiet ones? You're already paying attention now.